Hey everyone and welcome back. So I wanted to do a news update today. There's a couple announcements I've been meaning to get to for like the last week or two, and some other ones that have come in that I definitely wanted to cover. Obviously I'm a little bit behind in videos, so I'm still playing a little bit of catch up. So yeah, without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So first up, Kino has announced, well actually I think one of them was already announced or maybe updated, I don't know, 3 made-for-TV films that are getting Blu-ray releases. First one is the film Terror Out of the Sky, aka Revenge of the Savage Bees. Next one is Tarantulas, the Deadly Cargo. And then finally, the movie Ants, and all are due around July 5th. And each one is getting a new 2K transfer. And Ants, I believe Ants was the only one that was actually released theatrically. So that one is actually going to have 2 versions of the film. It's going to have one that is formatted for TV, like it was shown originally, the 1.33 to 1 aspect ratio. And then the other one will be slightly cropped to showcase the theatrical presentation of 1.85 to 1. Now, as far as I know, the theatrical version didn't have anything extra in it that the TV cut didn't, but I do like that they are offering both aspect ratio versions. Next up, Blue Underground has released more details on their upcoming release of the Larry Cohen film God Told Me To, their 4K release. The release date is July 19th, and it does look like it's porting over all of the extras from their previous Blu-ray release, which, by the way, that Blu-ray release was fantastic, but it is actually going to have a new audio commentary track, and that is with film historians Steve Mitchell and Troy Howarth, and that is going to be on both the 4K disc and the included Blu-ray, and it is going to be in Dolby Vision and HDR, obviously, as all the 4K releases have been, but it also is going to have a new Dolby Atmos track as well. So it's actually going to have 3 versions of the soundtrack. It's going to have this new Dolby Atmos track, the 5.1 surround track, which I believe was done for the previous home video release, as well as the original theatrical mono mix. And obviously, as a big Larry Cohen film, I'm very excited for this release. Do have my pre-order in. Next up, Severin has announced their May titles, and there are 2. One of them is a box set, but the first one is The Return of Captain Invincible, starring Alan Arkin and Christopher Lee. There's definitely a Christopher Lee theme for the month. It's going to have 2 cuts of the film, the original theatrical cut, as well as a director's cut, and it's going to have an included CD of the soundtrack. And the other release from Severin is another Christopher Lee set, and that is the Euro Crypt of Christopher Lee Collection 2. It's going to have 7 Blu-ray discs and 1 CD, or it's 7 discs, Blu-ray and a CD. Maybe that's what it is. But it's going to have 5 Christopher Lee films. And actually, you know what? I'm just going to read the description because I think it sort of sums it up pretty well. To celebrate the centennial of Sir Christopher Lee, Euro Crypt Collection 2 presents 5 of the most unexpected, underrated, and underseen films of the iconic actor's European career. Immediately following Horror of Dracula, Lee reprised the role in the quirky 1959 Italian comedy Uncle Was a Vampire. Lee speaks fluent German opposite Klaus Kinski for the crazed 1962 creamy Secret of the Red Orchid. In the 1974 UK psycho thriller Dark Places, Lee toplines a cast that includes Joan Collins, Herbert Lom, and Jane Birkin. Lee's final performance as the Count in the 1976 French comedy Dracula and Son can at last be seen in its superior director's cut, while the ultra-rare 1988 Dutch drama Murder Story brings Lee into the sex shops of Amsterdam. Each film has been remastered from original negative materials, with over 15 total hours of trailers, commentaries, alternate cuts, vintage interviews, and new featurettes, plus the Dracula and Son soundtrack and an all-new 100-page book by Lee biographer Jonathan Rigby. So really glad that they're continuing to do another one of these Christopher Lee box sets. And again, both of these titles are due out at the end of May, and they are up for pre-order right now at the Severin website. And then we get to the Vinegar Syndrome titles for this month being April, depending on when you're watching this. And we have 4 new releases, 3 of which are 4K. So first up is the Picorama title, which is actually a 4K release, and it's the film Stiff Competition. I'm sure no double entendre intended there. And that has a 4K and a Blu-ray release, getting a new transfer from the original camera negative. And then next up is the only solo Blu-ray release of the month, and that is the film Alien Private Eye from 1989, and that is getting a region-free Blu-ray release. Has a new transfer from the original 35mm camera negative, a brand new commentary track with writer, director, producer Vic Rubenfeld, Master of Suspense, an interview with Vic Rubenfeld, fashion show Film Noir, an interview with cinematographer Jared Berg v. Walther. Oh, I hope I got that name right. Mr. Lemro, Private Investigator, I presume. An interview with lead actor David Nico Hill. And the next two are 4K releases as well. First up is the film Flesh Eater, Revenge of the Living Dead. This is a film from Bill Hinsman. Now, Bill Hinsman, some of you may know, he was very much involved in a lot of the early George Romero films, but he's probably best known because he played the cemetery zombie at the beginning of the original Night of Living Dead. But this is a film he directed in 1988, which he also stars in, which looks like a couple also of his family members. And again, this is going to be a 4K and Blu-ray set. Has a brand new 4K transfer from its original 16mm camera negative. New commentary track with cinematographer Simon Manses, composer Erica Portnoy, and producer Andrew Sands. Zombie Nosh LLC, an interview with producer Andrew Sands. All roads lead back to Flesh Eater, an interview with cinematographer Simon Manses. The Family Continues, Remembering Bill with Bonnie Hinsman. Carnage in Compositions, an interview with composer Erica Portnoy. Family of Flesh Eaters, an interview with actress Heidi Hinsman. Crushed Pink Grapefruit Brain, an interview with special makeup effects artist Jerry Gurgley. To Live and Die in PA, an interview with actor John Mowud. Meatballs and Missing Actors, an interview with the unit manager Paul Giorgi. Minor Budget Majorette, interview with hairstylist makeup artist Terry Godfrey, as well as an exclusive behind-the-scenes still gallery. And then finally, the last title for this month for Vinegar Syndrome is a new release in 4K of Death Wish 2. Some of you remember this did actually get a Blu-ray release on, well, I actually got a couple Blu-ray releases. There was one from MGM, but there was also the uncut version that got a Blu-ray release from Shout Factory. And this is now also the uncut version getting a 4K release. And we'll have a Blu-ray also, but just heads up, the Blu-ray will be Region A locked, but does have a new 4K transfer from the original 35mm uncensored negative, an alternate TV version restored in 2K from its 35mm inner positive. Pass, an interview with screenwriter David Engelbeck. Working with Bronson, an interview with actor Robert F. Lyons. Dark Parts, an interview with actress Robin Sherwood. Fights in the Theater, an interview with Todd Roberts, son of executive producer Bobby Roberts. Audio commentary with author and historian Paul Talbot, as well as the theatrical trailer. So again, another title that Vinegar Syndrome is sort of trying to reach out a little bit and kind of do a couple more things, just like with their upcoming release of Cloak and Dagger. It's nice to see them sort of trying different things, but not leaving behind, obviously, some of the, horror and exploitation films that we do come to expect from them. And again, these are the April releases, so I know for those of us who are subscribers, obviously, I'm assuming my order will probably start shipping maybe next week. But these are up for pre-order right now at the Vinegar Syndrome website. So that's it for this news update. Obviously, we got more titles in the works. A couple rumblings. I'm just waiting on some official releases before I make any noise. I don't like to do rumors too often if I can avoid it. So definitely let me know your thoughts. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.